What is up, everybody? DanDanTheFireman here. I'm over here at Riders on MTC's range here at the Pima Raceway. Anyways, or Dragway. And we're going to be going over 6 motorcycle myths and misconceptions. And I kind of want to just talk about some of them because they're a little bit weird. Hope that bird doesn't attack my drone. Get out of here. So what I'm doing here is there's actually a class going on, and they're at lunch, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to practice myself. So motorcycle safety begins with you. You need to practice, wear full gear in a safe environment. I'm lucky enough to be able to do this here because I'm an MSF rider coach, boys. So anyways, let's go ahead and start. I'm going to practice U-turns and random shit. So first of all, myth number 1, other drivers don't care about motorcyclists. Yeah, they do. They actually do. They're just unintentionally blinded, if that makes any sense. They're unintentionally blinded because they just don't see it. They just don't see motorcyclists. They just don't see them, but they do care. I think normal human beings, decently well-adjusted human beings, do care about other people. So the fact that you might think the myth and the misconception is that they don't care about you, I think that's wrong, because I personally, as a car driver, care about other people, whether they're in a motorcycle, whether they're in a car. I do not want to hit somebody and damage them and kill them and ruin them and mess up them and their family, you know, with the knowledge of me killing them. I would feel devastated. Honestly, with my mental health, I don't think I would be able to handle it. So that is a myth. They do care. They do not want to hurt anybody. You do not want to, you know, be a part of that. So that is myth number 1. We talked about this in a recent video. Loud pipes save lives. That's a myth. That is a myth. I could barely hear my pipe. I could barely hear my pipes. And if you are going to be driving in a car, just go ahead and drive in a car, okay? Your car specifically. Now I want you to roll up all the windows. I want you to turn on the music. Just on a normal level, nothing crazy. Now, roll down your window. You notice how loud that is? You notice how quiet it is when you roll up the window? Guys, your cars are highly insulated. Cars are highly insulated. They are not gonna hear your pipe. And one thing is that once you hit like 60 miles per hour, you outrun the noise that you create. So you outrun the noise that you create. And that is one thing that we learned in Fire Academy, and the one thing we learned in the fire service is that once you get on the interstate, once you get above a certain speed, you outrun your siren. I mean, you outrun your horn and the siren, let alone pipes that are shooting back. The decibels are shooting that way. Horns and sirens are shooting ahead of us, and people still can't see or hear us. So loud pipes do not save lives. They can if you are, you know, next to somebody and they're wanting to creep up. Instead of reaching for the horn, you could just go, you know, maybe. But that is a misconception. The one thing that you can mitigate, the one thing that does save lives is training and practice, keeping up on your training. Okay, so I'm practicing my training. I'm training like my life depends on it, because it really does. And I just like having fun. Motorcycle helmets break your neck. I've heard about that. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that you have this massive thing on top of your head and your neck is not protected, and your neck is some flimsy, you know, piece of meat and bone. I've heard that before. And it does have some merit. It is a misconception, because it does have some merit, because, you know, toddlers, little children, they have a disproportionately sized head compared to their neck, and children do have neck injuries when they fall down, especially when they hit their head. I mean, they'll have head injuries too, but they'll have neck injuries because their head is just way too big. Now, we also have big heads when we wear helmets, and I could see that, but here's the thing is that our necks are strong. Our neck muscles are strong, and they should be strong because we've grown up to handle the giant noggin of ours. So the impact that you will receive that will cause your head to flip back and forth and possibly cause a neck injury, like as a child, that right there is mitigated by the fact that if you hit your head hard enough to cause a neck injury, guess what happened to your head if you weren't wearing a helmet? You're dead. So wear a helmet. What are you gonna trade, you know, death? Let's go ahead and let's do like a circle. You're gonna trade death for a possible neck injury? Sorry, I'd rather have a neck injury than die. And I know some people are out there that are like, well, I'd rather be dead than paraplegic or quadriplegic. I understand that, but you know what? You can have a quality of life. And hopefully in the next couple dozen years, I can have robot legs. Helmets block your ability to see or hear danger. Misconception, and there's some merit to it. There really is, because your field of view is blocked. Right now, as I'm looking through this helmet, I could see the tippy tops of the visor. So that right there, if that was off, I'd have more. I could see this, more like this right here. So if I didn't have a helmet, I'd see more down here. But here's the thing, what's the trade-off? No helmet, no visor versus helmet and visor. In a crash, heck yeah, I'd rather have a freaking helmet and visor. So there's that trade-off. You are limiting some of your visibility, but not a lot. So when you start limiting some of your senses, like hearing, seeing, touch, feel, all that stuff, because you know your dexterity, your touch is a little bit limited while wearing gear, especially gloves. You start trading off some of that. That's why you get quality gear, quality gloves, quality, you know, visors. Make sure you have your visor clean. Make sure, you know, you have a high field of view helmet. So that's why you need to go out and get those things, because that plays a huge role in maintaining your natural field of view, natural hearing, natural sense of touch. That is very important. So what I would do is I would find a helmet that is good. Find a helmet with a high field of view if that's your concern. That's what I did. That's why I got an adventure helmet. It's made for upright riding and a high field of view. That's why I got this instead of the RF1200. Both great helmets, but I wanted a field of view. Hearing, well, guess what? Can you really hear anything when you're riding? I mean, yeah, you hear wind. You hear, you know, your exhaust and the engine. But I'm gonna tell you what, you're probably going deaf if you don't have anything in your ears. So at the same time, you know, your hearing is impaired by a helmet, you should be wearing earplugs. You really should, to protect your hearing. Once you lose your hearing, you can't get it back. It doesn't heal back. So it's already mitigated again by proper protection. Once you lose your hearing, you gotta make up for it with better visibility. You gotta look more. You gotta keep your head on a swivel. This kind of goes back to the helmet, you know, causing neck injuries and blah 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 blah. Myth number 5: a helmet won't help in most crashes. Well, most crashes you hit your head at some point. Like some crashes you just skid across your butt. Sorry, I'm practicing. I'm a little out of breath. Oh man, it's getting a little warm. But most crashes do involve the head. And more importantly, the crashes that do involve the head, they mostly involve the chin and the face. You will have some impact on the back of the head and the sides of the head. A little bit less on the top of the head unless you're doing some breakdancing. But mostly on the face. Sorry, but I want a helmet. A helmet won't help in most crashes. Okay, so does that mean that you're just not gonna wear a helmet? Well, if you get that one crash, the one in your lifetime, where it does involve your face, right? So then wear a helmet. So that's another myth, misconception. And even if it's true, okay, even if it's true that, you know, a helmet won't help in most crashes, I am looking for that least amount of crashes. I'm looking for that one crash that I want to mitigate where it will hit my face, and I'm gonna wear a freaking helmet. It's like most crashes, you know, a seatbelt won't do anything, or airbags don't pop off on most crashes. They only pop off on rear end and front end damage. Okay, well, I'm glad I have it. Does that mean you're not going to buy a car that doesn't have airbags? Because, you know, most crashes are T-bones or whatever, and they won't go off. So? I want one. A helmet will leave you brain damage in a crash when you would have simply died. I kind of talked about that real quick, where you'd rather die than be brain dead or quadriplegic, paraplegic, or whatever. Sorry. So if a crash would normally leave me brain damage, I would be fine? No. What about crashes that are non-life threatening but life-altering? Think about that. It's not just the head, you know? One's if you get a traumatic brain injury from a simple, like I do this, oops, I hit the brakes and I turned my handlebars, I fell, boom, bonked my head on the ground. You can get a traumatic brain injury right there. You can get it to the point where you're having cognitive issues, behavioral issues. That's life-altering. You lost your balance, now you can't ride because you have a brain injury. Imagine wearing a helmet, because you're wearing a helmet all the time, random mistake, freak accident. Now you dropped the bike, you dropped and hit your head, but you hit the helmet instead. That all rhymed. Now you're perfectly fine. You might have damaged your helmet, but that's better than your skull. So I always play at the worst case scenario. I play at the worst case scenario when it comes to riding. I wear full gear. I'm out here practicing. I'm out here practicing my skills. And a lot of this is slow speed stuff, but I'm practicing my balance. I'm practicing, you know, the bike bondingness of my motorcycle and myself. You know, it's good to get a good feeling. And you can do this in a parking lot. As you notice, I'm just using this much room. You can do it as a parking lot, but if you want to get proper training, come out here. Look at all these cool bikes. Let's ride by them real quick. Suzuki TU 250X, Kawasaki KLX 250SF, another TU 250X. Ooh, this one's new. XF 200. Ooh, that's pretty. You got a GZ 250, a Ninja. Got another Honda. You got a Honda Rebel. Got a GW 250F. Another Ninja. Another TU. That one looks clean. We got some more bikes out here at Ride Arizona MTC. And remember, guys, I train, I practice, I coach out here. So swing by, sign up, just take a look at it. It's not just beginner courses, guys. There's advanced stuff out here. And I get to coach you. All right, I'm out of breath. It's been a good couple minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and keep practicing off camera so I can be a better rider. But if you like this stuff, please hit that subscribe button. I don't feel like saying all that stuff, and the bell and all that. Guys, if you want to get some training, come out here. If you want to keep believing these myths, keep believing them, don't watch this video. But with that said, I hope you guys ride safe, be safe, and I'll see you later.